Hello everyone and welcome to another replay commentary. Today I'm going to fulfill another request. A while ago someone requested a PhilBoT replay and therefore I am now going to cast this one. This was a Laddergame played in the fall of 2004, so a pretty old replay between here on the in the bottom right corner, the purple undead from Australia, PhilBoT, or often also with the second nickname PhilMeraldo, which is just coming from his real name, Philip Meraldo. As just mentioned, Australian but with a Portuguese family background. One of the top two Australian players in Warcraft 3 together with Moonglade. I mean, there was also, in Reign of Chaos, there was also a player called Wolf, a human player, who was also pretty good, probably the best Australian player back then, but he quit really early. So yeah, I consider PhilBoT top two Australian Warcraft 3 players. He started playing for ICOR, the biggest Australian team back then, not only for Warcraft but also for a couple of other esport titles. And in 2004 he played for BMI and later on RS. And in April of 2005 he went to Mousesports, where he stayed until he quit Warcraft in the fall of 2006. So he starts with a rather weird build order with Crypt first, then Ziggurat, Graveyard and Altar afterwards. By the way, his opponent is Hunter, the American orc player, for the second time in this Passcast series. He's gonna start with a Farseer first and, as it seems, a fast tech. So coming back to PhilBoT, he in his career won some Australian tours, became second place after Moonglade in some Australian tours, as well as Australian qualifiers for tournaments such as WCG, ESWC and so on. And as far as I know, his only victory in an international tournament was the victory in the WCG Asia 2006, which was a tournament which involved players from most of the Asian countries except for South Korea, but there were a couple of Chinese players as well, and as far as I know he won the final against Suho, which was pretty impressive back then. So yeah, that was definitely his biggest success. So Cryptlord first here, as well as the first Fiend in production for PhilBoT, and at the same time the Farseer is gonna head across the map, and tech already started for Hunter. So PhilBoT often had this, in my opinion, pretty boring to watch style. He either got the Cryptlord first with Beetles or the Death Knight, and he gathered a lot of Fiends and yeah, really did very creep heavy early and mid games and just crept to like level 4-3 or 5-3, and yeah, just got a huge chunk of Fiends, usually either Cryptlord, Death Knight, Lich, or Death Knight, Lich Cryptlord, Death Knight, Lich Naga, depending on his opponent's race, and just used a nice positioning and good focus fire with that orb to yeah, just win his fights. But yeah, the early game pretty much always creeping heavy from PhilBoT. And also he often went for tier 2 or tier 3 expansions with a lot of towers. So in this case he's gonna gather a couple of Beetles. Once again the Farseer is gonna poke in here. Obviously all Hunter wants at this point is prevent his opponent from creeping, because with the Cryptlord you need to gather some experience early on. At the same time we do see that the tech is way ahead, and PhilBoT is getting a Spirit Tower here, which in my opinion is probably not a bad choice. It protects him from Wind Riders on tier 2, and it enables this base to defend itself against a lone Farseer harassing. So this means PhilBoT can use the rest of his army to start creeping here, and as we can see, Hunter once again doesn't even dare to go in the space here. Maybe a little bit useless what he's doing here. He probably didn't see the army heading out of the base. Now he realizes the army is gone and he heads after it to look for it, but I'm not sure if he's gonna know that PhilBoT already went to the bottom right corner here to creep his natural expansion. He is gonna get the level 2 here rather easily. Close plus of attack +9 for him. At the moment not really useful. Maybe later on for a Lich, or he's gonna sell it, we'll find out. So level 2, level 1, what's it called, Carapace something. the spike upgrade for the Cryptod. As we can see, the Farseer is on the wrong track here, so he's not gonna find him the Cryptod rather easily. Gets up to level 2.5. Another Fiend coming. Tech only halfway through. Meanwhile, the TC second is almost out for Hunter already, and he's getting double Beastry as well as a Spirit Lodge. So that's a lot of investment, and I'm pretty curious how he's gonna try and make use of these 3 tier 2 buildings. I mean, he didn't get barracks, he didn't build any grunt, so he saved up a lot of gold. So he's gonna want to spend that soon, but he still didn't get any experience on his Farseer. Now he finally finds PhilBoT, but he's probably already gonna be level 3. Belt of Giant Strength as well as what was it, Tome of Agility for the Cryptod. At least no Tome of Experience. And right now with the lone Farseer, that's a downside of the Cryptod. He can't really dare to take any damage on those Fiends, at least for now, because they are so fragile. And the TC second comes in. He didn't choose a skill yet. If he would choose to go Stomp, if he had chosen to go Stomp here, which now it is too late, he probably would have been able to kill the Fiend here, but he decides not to skill anything yet, so he probably didn't know what to skill or wasn't sure what to skill. Maybe he just wants to see how it goes. So let's see, still tier 2. Wind Riders now coming out of those Beastries, Adept upgrade for the Spirit Walkers being researched. So this Orc army is still ridiculously tiny, so he still wants to just prevent PhilBoT from creeping. And this is actually rather unusual in my opinion for PhilBoT games, because PhilBoT has always been very good at denying his opponent from preventing him from creeping. So yeah, the fact that he's sitting in his base with 7 Fiends and a hero and gets distracted by just 2 heroes is very unusual for PhilBoT. But right now Hunter is retreating. First 2 Wind Riders are here at the shop. Wind Riders number 3 and 4 are gonna join the army here soon as well. I'm pretty sure the drop is different here. I think you can get like Ankh and Healthstone and Mana Stone, etc. So PhilBoT now finally moves out of his base again. He gets the Death Knight second, yeah, as expected. Webb has finished, just finished researching. Slaughterhouse second coming as well. Let's see, did he see something here already? Okay, he saw, at least he saw double Beastry, which is a pretty safe guess, at least, especially at this point of Warcraft 3 back in 2004, that he's gonna face Wind Riders. So as we can see, he sold both the Belt of Giant Strength and the Close Attack +9, which leaves the Belt of Giant Strength I find rather surprising, since the Death Knight could definitely use that, since he cannot heal himself, obviously. So still T2 for PhilBoT, and both of the players seem to just continue creeping here. PhilBoT is gonna take another camp here, not gonna get a level up from here. I think the creep route from Hunter might be a bit better here. As you can see, he is he's crept those or he is creeping those spots in the middle, which are the most contested spots usually on Twisted Meadows, whereas his opponent is creeping the camps on his side of the map, which are not at all contested and which are a little bit further apart than this shop and this orange camp and the Merc camp here and this orange camp are. So I'm assuming that Hunter is probably gonna catch up experience wise a little bit. Level 3.7 and barely over level 2 against these Orc heroes, which both are almost level 3, so experience wise it's almost even here at this point. But tier 3 now started for PhilBoT. He doesn't have any healing, but he found the heal wards earlier, which must have been here then, and that's actually really nice because, as I just mentioned, he doesn't have any healing around, and he can, if he wants to, just place one here and yeah, heal his heroes while creeping. He doesn't even have a shop up yet, so no way for him to get heal salves at this point, so these heal wards are really really nice for him at this point. Oh, by the way, the TC decided to choose a certain skill already. He didn't use any mana so far, so we don't know what it is yet. Ankh found here by the Death Knight and immediately sold. That's definitely interesting. Seems like he found the Periapt of Vitality down here. Ring of Protection here. And what else did he get? Yeah, the Ankh, which he sold. So both the players continue creeping. That was the Tome of Experience on this TC, which boosts him almost to level 4. Still no HealBoT used by Hunter here, which I find rather surprising. The armies here seem rather even. It seems like, is he gonna go in there and fight? It seems like he is gonna do that. Those fiends here in the front are rather exposed. Shockwave skilled by the Death Knight, by the TC, and that's rather bad for PhilBoT since he didn't bring any heal scrolls and he really needs those against that chain lightning shockwave. So he's done some nice web here, trying to do some kiting inward potion used by the TC. The Farseer also needs to take care. Next, shockwave has gone through here, chain lightning goes through as well, and fiend after fiend is falling. A couple of Wind Riders have gone down as well. TP has to be used by the Farseer, and let's see, is that Wind Rider gonna fall? No, the Wind Rider survives. So I feel like PhilBoT lost a little bit more in this fight. Unit wise, he had a huge load of fiends available, and as he saw this, by the way, gem of health for him, so that's a really tanky Death Knight. As he saw the shockwave chain lightning combo here, he's gonna have to bring heal scrolls to future fights. But then again, if he brings heal scrolls, it might not look that bad for him. So 3 Spirit Walkers with the Orcs army now as well. I'm wondering if he kept those in his base. Probably he did. But what I was about to say is that in return, Hunter had to use his big inward potion with the TC and his TP. So maybe the fight was still probably a little bit worse for PhilBoT, but not all that bad. After also Impale goes on the TC here. First fiend is going down. Shockwave not really great, but there's not a lot of fiends remaining for PhilBoT, and you need a certain amount of fiends to take down those Wind Riders, and especially right now with his army being split that far, that's a horrible position for PhilBoT as he has to pull back. Usually you want those fiends together behind your heroes to just be able to web a couple of Wind Riders and then kite back. And Hunter doesn't have Dust of Appearance, he's gonna buy that just now. He doesn't have gold for anything else. But PhilBoT is gonna charge in here, he's gonna try and save these fiends, he's unbuoying them. The first destroyer is immediately, the only destroyer is immediately gonna be focused out. First fiend falls as well, so once again, not the greatest start of this engagement for the undead player. Shockwave this time hits 2 of the fiends, one of them gets killed by chain lightning, and PhilBoT is gonna have to pull back. There's no way he's gonna be able to be successful in any way in this fight here. So the Impale here, that's unfortunate, he missed the fiend with the reveal here. So another Impale used on the Farseer here, and he does have plus 4.8 armor, so that's 1.8 from the Boots of Kel'Thalas and 3, so he has level 1 Spike skilled, level 2 Beetles and level 1 Impale. So I'm wondering if either due to the fact that his opponent has the Chainwave combination, which is only AoE but not really a hero nuke combo, he decided not to get any more armor, or if it was just misskilled. So tier 3 now reached, he does not get a Lich so far. Usually you would expect a Lich right now, but the problem with the Lich is that the Orc heroes are already pretty high on experience, and the only creep camps left to creep a Lich up are these 2, which are fairly close to the undead base, and as long as the Orc player has map control, which he does have right now, he's probably not gonna let the undead player creep anything close to his base, so he grabbed away this small camp. I'm wondering why he's not contesting this. He should definitely have the upper hand at the moment, and therefore if PhilBoT would try to contest this one and Hunter would want to prevent him from doing so, he should definitely be able to do that. But then on the other hand, a point for getting the Lich is definitely the items on the Scriptod. He could just pass the Gem of Health and the Periapt of Vitality, and if he wants to, also the Ring of Protection to the Lich to make him a lot more tanky, to get 2 armor and 450 HP on the Lich, and that would maybe make him tanky enough to survive for a while in this fight. So now we see why Hunter decided not to contest this mercenary camp. he decided to go for the even bigger camp, which was the red camp here in the top right corner. At the same time, expansion coming in the bottom left corner, and a Naga third. So that's a really odd choice. I mean, as the Lich, the Naga is very fragile and she cannot be coiled, so that's another disadvantage. And with the slow arrow, I feel like he's not really helping himself a whole lot, because the Wind Riders are going to be slowed, are going to be webbed and unable to move anyways. So I feel like there's not really a huge advantage the Naga provides compared to a Lich third here. But maybe PhilBoT knows better. So TP is coming in level 5 on the TC already, level 4 on the Farseer, so Orb of Darkness is probably going to be sold soon. Don't really see a way that's going to be useful for Hunter. And PhilBoT, yeah, he is going to go for the engagement. The Destroyer once again is falling rather quickly. A nice shockwave in here. Chain Lightning follows. Actually Chain Lightning hitting the top of the army here, not the Fiends, which Hunter actually wanted to hit, so that's rather unfortunate. But the next shockwave is doing such a lot of damage. And once again, he doesn't have any heal scrolls, so PhilBoT is going to have to fall back. Dust of Appearance reveals one of the Fiends, and that's going to cost him. At the same time, this expansion is about to come up. Let's see if no, the Fiend is going to survive here. Death Knight still has some mana, but PhilBoT is going to have to fall back here. And Fog Lightning first, but the Naga not even the slow arrow. And the Naga is just taking so much damage. There is still mana for a shockwave, but he doesn't even need to use it. Naga falls. Seems like the Death Knight may have tried to pass the Immo Potion here, and look at the damage output by this AoE. The Fiends from full HP going down to about 60 hit points, so that's some ridiculous damage output. And as long as there are no heal scrolls available for PhilBoT, he's not going to be able to do a lot against this. I'm wondering if this was level 3 Chain Lightning, because I haven't seen any level 3 Wolves so far. So Coil goes on the Cryptod, who isn't going to die anytime soon as long as this Death Knight is around. And the Fiends have to pull back into the space. The TC is taking quite some damage. It looks like PhilBoT wants to snipe out one of the Wind Riders here. He's losing one Fiend, being way too aggressive with those. And he cannot afford leaving his base with those Fiends. The damage output of Hunter is just ridiculous at the moment. The Death Knight needs to take care. He still has the big Invo Potion, but he definitely doesn't want to waste that. At the moment. So one of the Wind Riders gets webbed here. It's gonna fall! And the Chain Wave is taking down the Death Knight with the big Invo Potion here. So quite an unnecessary micro bug by PhilBoT, bringing his Death Knight back to his army when he already was in the safety of his own base. And that's really unfortunate for PhilBoT. He didn't scout this expansion so far, but I think I just saw a little green dot on the minimap, so this might mean that he sent this bug over there to do the scouting right now. But let's see, he's getting the Naga back first. Naga is almost back at this point, but he's gonna have to wait for his Death Knight. Doesn't have to go to get a Tavern rebuy. So at this point of the game, if the other player goes Fiends, he definitely needs the healing, but at the same time he also really needs the Unholy Aura, because the damage output of his opponent is so high, and without the speed bonus these Fiends are so immobile and are gonna fall so quickly, so he cannot really move out of his base with this kind of army at this point of the game without Unholy Aura. So he sells a lot of items. I think the Cryptod had all the hit point items, so he sold those. That's definitely also kind of weird, I would say. But then again, most of the damage he's taking is against those Fiends, so maybe he should rather get heal scrolls. So Death Knight is halfway back. Bug is getting closer to this Great Hall, and he's now finally going to scout that, and there's the confirmation. He actually skilled level 3 Chain Lightning accidentally, so misskilled. But yeah, did some nice damage. Also the TC is really close. Farseer as well, 2 level 6. The Beetle now has found the expansion. One of the Spirit Walkers is being sent back there to do some dispel. the Death Knight is going to come back soon as well. I'm wondering why isn't he keeping these statues in statue form for a while. I mean, he does have one statue here, but he's, as far as I see it, he doesn't regenerate mana. Actually, the display gets him really close to level 6 here, and oh, this one, this is gonna get the TC to level 6 if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, that's the case, level 6 for the TC. So that's unfortunate for PhilBoT. It seems like that might just give the confidence to Hunter to march in here. One of the Wind Riders is immediately going to be taken out, so a lot of destroys available here for PhilBoT, but without mana they are not going to do too well against Wind Riders. The first of the destroys is immediately going to be taken down, and the Undead army has to pull back. It seems like the Orc player doesn't want to fight against the Nerubian Tower as well as the Black Citadel here. It's the Farseer has reached level 6, therefore level 3 wolves are available, and the pressure is definitely on PhilBoT as his main gold mine is going to run out in 300 gold, while his opponent still has the expansion running. There is no expansion whatsoever coming for PhilBoT, and I don't really see any pressure on Hunter to march into this base here. So PhilBoT is gonna run out of gold. Hunter can, if he wants to, just sit back and get 100 supply of whatever army he wants to before he engages. At the same time, two of the beetles are going to get to this expansion. He just moved his Spirit Walker away, so that's some very unfortunate timing. These two beetles are going to be able to do a lot of damage here once again. So poking in front of the undead main base. And the next Wind Rider is probably going to be taken out. AoE not coming, at least for now. Let's see, the Crypt Lord is also level 5.5, so he might get level 6 at some point as well. Second expansion coming for Hunter. And the next fight starts. Some Bad Riders have joined as well. One of the destroyers, I think, has gone down. So it seems like Hunter is slowly working on chewing away this army. Next AoE coming in here, and one ghoul only has gone down so far, but quite some damage taken. Let's see, once again there is no heal scroll for PhilBoT, but he was able to sneak those Ecolites out. I'm pretty sure Hunter didn't see those, so he might just be able to get an expansion up. So again, Shockwave going in here, one of the fiends goes down, Fork Lightning on those Wind Riders, and he has to stay there unless he wants to lose all three of those Wind Riders. And Hunter might just be pulling back a little bit too far. One more Wind Rider is going down, two more Wind Riders going down, but two more Bad Riders coming in as well. Only 3 destroyers remaining. Both of the players losing a couple of their air units. And yes, Dispel taking down more and more bugs, level 5 for this Death Knight now as well. Crypt Lord really close to level 6. Another one of those Wind Riders is probably going to fall. At the same time, one of the Spirit Walkers has now returned to the expansion. All the PNs have gone down anyways though. Farseer is taking some more damage, but in return the last of these destroyers has gone down as well. The expansion here, yeah, about 2/3 up, and maybe Hunter should pull back as both of his heroes are out of mana, or almost out of mana. Another Fiend and another Statue are going down to the AoE level 6 for the Crypt Lord now as well, and he's gonna have to pull back once again. Burrow goes, yeah, one of the Fiend burrows itself. Farseer also needs to be careful, he still has a speed scroll. But yeah, as long as the Death Knight is out of mana, he can move rather freely, but he shouldn't really exaggerate here. As right now there is 75 mana on this Death Knight again, and yeah, that means the Farseer is gonna have to take care some more damage dealt against this Death Knight as well. So both the players really risking quite a bit here. Expansion now is up for the undead player. The TC needs to take care. Big immo portion used right now, 100 HP for him. The Farseer, as mentioned, needs to take care as well. And he does have the mana for a Chain Lightning, and he's positioning himself, but he's risking a lot here. And I'm not sure if this is gonna pay out for Hunter. And he loses the level 6 Farseer here. Very, well, in hindsight, very bad decision here by Hunter, and he thought it was a lesser invul potion. In this case that would have worked out, but yeah, then again, just he should have clicked on the Death Knight prior to to the fight and seen that there was a big invo push. So Farseer is being rebought now, slowed by the Naga though. Is there mana? There is mana for another coil, and he gets another kill on this Farseer. So this is so expensive for the Orc player, losing the Farseer, the level 6 Farseer twice. The Death Knight now needs to take care, dies to a Shockwave. So some crazy fighting here, another hero kill, this time PhilBoT losing his Death Knight, once again also not incredibly necessary, still a big supply advantage for Hunter, but 10, 13 of that supply has a total of not even 200 hit points. Once again the Spirit Walker is being pulled to the rest of his army just as 3 bucks are marching by to this expansion. Death Knight this time has been rebought at the tavern, but out of mana. Obviously he's not extremely useful. So this expansion has still not been scouted by PhilBoT, Hunter. At the same time this expansion here hasn't been scouted by PhilBoT, so both the players are unaware of one of their opponent's expansions here. At the same time Cryptlord already level 6.5, Death Knight also 5.5. This guy is being burrowed here. There's no dust. Not sure if Hunter noticed that. Oh, and one of the reinforcing Wind Riders being caught here just as it left the beast tree, so that's unfortunate. Farseer not being reproduced here, so he might just go to the tavern and rebuy that Farseer, and he has 1 charge of heal half, which is obviously very important to prevent this Farseer from just getting nuked immediately again. And yeah, he just really needs that Farseer, because once he scouts this expansion down here, he is going to be able to send down wolves, which are going to be able to take care of these acolytes really easily. But for now it seems like he's going to have to defend this little push first. There are 3 heroes and 2 fiends against a pretty big Ogre army. I think he should be able to defend this without huge trouble. So PhilBoT is pulling back once again. A couple of bucks are harassing the expansion, but one of the Wind Riders is there. Nothing much happening, and this is the point of the game where this replay became really famous for, because from this point of the game, due to a bug, the carrion beetles of PhilBoT were not dispellable anymore, and that obviously changed this game a lot. And this means that this where's the Spirit Walker? Here is not going to be able to defend this expansion against the carrion beetles all by himself. So this means either Hunter can now pull back, or he can just go for a fight. But at the same time, PhilBoT once again has gathered a couple of fiends. So it's not like the Orc player is extremely far ahead at this point in a straight up fight. Naga is the first target here, also getting closer to level 4 already. PhilBoT is trying to micro his fiends as best as he can. Shockwave kills one of them. Nevertheless, the Death Knight is in some trouble now, and he is pulling back. Another fiend is going down. At the same time, these beetles are probably going to be able to take down the expansion of PhilBoT. Ultimate used from the Cryptlord. The heroes are charging in here with a speed scroll, the only speed scroll he has left. And the Death Knight goes down to the nuke, to Chainwave, and the Naga might get into some trouble as well, but the Farseer is in some trouble too. So the Naga force, the Farseer force as well, level 7 for the Cryptlord, the TC, and 2 Raiders are all that's remaining for Hunter at this point against 3 Fiends and the Cryptlord. So once again, Fiend burrowed in time, but Shockwave gets the kill for the Orc player anyways. The expansion is now in just a couple of seconds gonna fall, I think. No, he still didn't scout this as it seems. But he must be aware that there is an expansion. There is no way PhilBoT without an expansion would have been able to gather so many fiends to rebuy his Death Knight at the tavern. And so on. So yeah, he now sees that expansion. Let's see if he's gonna be able to get anything killed. Oh, he only gets the Shockwave on 2 of these Acolytes, so that's not really what he wanted there, and now he has to pull this Raider out already. I'm not sure if he's gonna be willing to sacrifice his TC. I mean, at this point the TC is probably not going to die unless Hunter wants it to. So Ensnare goes on another fiend to secure this TC the kill. Farseer is being reproduced. And the altar is still down, so this means PhilBoT is gonna have to go to the tavern to get a hero back, or rebuild his altar first, but that's not happening so far. And he really needs to take care of those wind drives, because there are 2 fiends available for PhilBoT, and he's getting the web on both of these wind drives, and that's really unfortunate. That's so much money lost here for Hunter, which he doesn't really want to afford at this point, because he's down 2-1 expansion, which I think is still unscouted by PhilBoT. So he does have to go to get this Death Knight back at the tavern once again. As we can see, he was able to buy a heal potion at his shop just before he died, but he wasn't able to use it in time anymore. One statue idling down here, another fiend being produced, the Spirit Walkers waiting here. I mean, I know because I've seen this replay like a couple of years ago, that disenchant isn't gonna work anymore for the rest of this game, but yeah, Hunter at this point probably cannot be sure of that, because that's a bug that happens maybe once in every couple thousand of games. So there's the attack by PhilBoT on this expansion. Once again, disenchant is being used on those bugs, but it isn't working. There you can see it once again. The orc is now coming in from the side. Once again, no heals cross here. So these fiends are gonna take a lot of damage immediately. Impale goes on the entire orc army once again. Chain lightning used. Shockwave not used so far. Coil goes on one of the fiends. He has to use the shockwave. Now he's using the shockwave. TP is coming from PhilBoT just in time, and he's not losing a single fiend here. So he's done some damage. Actually, did he do? He didn't really do a lot of damage. Had to use his TP. But the army still is not that bad for PhilBoT. Death Knight also almost level 6, so we're gonna have 4 heroes on level 6 or higher in 26 experience points. And I'm wondering, why isn't the Farseer sending down wolves right now? I mean, the Farseer is level 7. The army of PhilBoT to me looks a bit better. I'm not really sure if Hunter is going to be able to engage here. So what I think would maybe be the better choice for Hunter. Let's just see if they are going to engage. So he's got 3 ensnare, so if he gets the surround on the Death Knight, he might be able to kill him. Heal potion used rather early. Impale once again goes on the Orc army level 6 for the DK, and Hunter is wasting, or is investing a lot of damage output here into trying to kill this Death Knight, but he's not gonna get him. Now the Chain Wave has gone on the Fiends once again. 3 Fiends have gone down already, but the entire Orc army is low HP. There is mana on the on the Death Knight, but he doesn't get the coil on the Farseer. Farseer is charging away with the speed scroll. Only the TC still has some HP left for the Orc. The rest is so low. And Hunter just, if you followed it, is throwing all kinds of complaints about the circumstances on the screen the entire game. So what I was about to say is, yeah, the army still looks stronger for PhilBoT in my opinion. What I was about to say is, send the wolves here, go for an attack with Earthquake, since the Farseer is level 7 here. Might be the best thing to do for Hunter right now. How is he actually going to engage here? This seems rather risky, and now he's pulling back. So Earthquake, maybe just in here to kill both of the towers, would be so useful, because then he might be able to switch to a base trade game here. And at the same time, a Beetle has taken down the last source of gold income for Hunter, so that's really bad. He's out of gold income. PhilBoT still has some gold income. Chainwave once again goes through the undead army. First Fiend has gone down. The 3 Wind Riders are being webbed here. First one of those has gone down already as well. Second one is gonna fall in just a second as well. The TC is taking some damage, but he does have the ultimate available. It seems like now Hunter is going to be willing to let his second hero go down. Impale goes on the Farseer. He does still have the speed scroll. and he is gonna fall. I mean, he could have used that speed scroll, but he would have fallen anyways. And it seems like, sorry, the TC is now gonna try and take down this Death Knight for the second time. The Naga barely has any mana, so right now he is unable to slow this TC. He's trying to go for the surround, but Impale, I'm assuming, yeah, he does have level 3 spikes, so Impale is still level 1, isn't lasting incredibly long. The Naga now has mana for one more slow arrow. Impale, once again, isn't enough to get this TC surrounded. But the TC at the same time needs to take care. There's still one Wind Rider here at the right side of this battle. The TC should be able to get away thanks to the endurance arrow. The Wind Rider, very unfortunately, gets caught here, and he's going for the surround. If he gets the surround, Shockwave goes on the Death Knight, Stomp as well, 65 hit points. Slow goes on the TC, and level up for this Death Knight, level 875 for PhilBoT, and there is the GG by Hunter. Actually, he secured his gold income here, but obviously against this 53 supply undead army, he isn't going to be able to hold this with nothing. So he already typed the GG. He is re-buying his TC, reproducing, but I think that shouldn't make too much of a difference because PhilBoT still has gold income, and there is no way he's gonna lose this match anymore. So this replay back then was obviously pretty famous, especially as this was just after 1.17 was released, and people were sort of afraid that this would happen more often. But yeah, it didn't, and therefore, well, this replay, the bug replay, remained, as far as I know, a one-time thing. Obviously, this made a huge difference. This expansion here would never have fallen if the bugs would have remained dispellable. But even the way the game went, I feel like Hunter still had a shot at winning this game with the base trade, as I mentioned previously, fighting straight up later on after losing most of his army inside the undead space here, which obviously wasn't worth it. Even though he got 2 heroes killed, he lost everything but his TC and 1 raider. So that was another tipping point, and after that I feel like he should have tried to go for a base trade style, which he did not. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about that. So since the game is still going, yeah, there is always my donate button, which I point out once in a while, which is in the description of every replay or every video I upload to YouTube. So if you want to, it's obviously voluntary. If you want to, you can donate a little bit of money, but you can also keep enjoying my content for free. If you like it, you can also just give a thumbs up or write a nice comment. Yeah, always appreciate every one of those. And I feel like, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't see a reason for Hunter to stay in this game. As far as I know, that's also the last building, so he's just gonna let those go down. So Hunter, not always the most greatly mannered player, as you have seen in this replay, as there was also, as it was also yeah, displayed in the first replay of Hunter in the past cast. And yeah, I think that's all there is to say here, and that's it. Bye.